Plastic Memories, episode 6. Another fucking. This was a sad episode too. It wasn't like boo-hoo and bawling tears sad, but it was just like, damn, man. The whole. Tsukasa was just smiling in spite of what happened, and Isla was trying to find out why and how he was able to continue smiling after all this shit happened. You know what I'm saying? That's something that only a non-human character could actually ponder. You know what I'm saying? Like, when we do things like that as humans, we don't wonder why we do them. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are people who grieve in different ways. You know, you've seen a breakdown where someone actually laughed the entire time because something traumatic just happened, or your mind can make you forget all that sort of stuff. When you go through so much trauma and shock that you actually develop amnesia, or you interpret the story a very, very different way in your own head. So we don't question that shit as humans. You know what I'm saying? As human beings, we don't question that shit. You know what I'm saying? Not until it's actually sort of brought to light. Like, yeah, why would that shit happen to that person? You know how many times I've seen people smile in spite of like the way that they were feeling? But that's just because that's just what we do as people. We don't like to explicitly show our sadness, failures, trials and tribulations to people, because we know other people got their own fucking problems. So we smile, we grin and bear it. You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure that, you know, people see that through all your strife and misery and pain, you can still smile through it all if you have the right attitude. But Isla is just kind of like, I don't understand that shit at all. I don't understand how you can smile through all this shit, you know. And that, just her questioning that shit, I was just like, yeah, see, this situation is even more, it's a lot sadder now than it was beforehand, because she questioned the shit. She's like, I don't understand. I don't get why he's not fucking, you know, bawling, crying sad right now. But he got all his crying out of the way when he went to go talk to old dude about Marcia. So I was just kind of like, yeah, you know, he's still grieving. He'll never forget what happened, but he has to put on a braver face at work, which I respect the fuck out of. You know, Tsukasa is a respectable character, which I admire, you know. And I like this episode, even though it was sad, it was still kind of funny, because Isla says that I can't get Tsukasa out of my mind. So then Michiru and the chick who works in the mechanic department, the blonde chick, they just like, well, Michiru says, oh, I'm not going to be here to help you do this shit, but it's obvious she's a tsundere, so she's going to show up, and she did. She was there, she was watching too, it was funny as shit, you know. But the blonde hair chick was just like, oh my god, this is love. We're going to investigate his life, and we're going to see what type of person he is. Which was dumb as shit, though, because I'm like, Isla lives with him. She would know what type of person he is. She lives with him. Michiru lives next door and has apparently easy access to the fucking door, because she always opens the motherfucker. So yeah, they know what type of person he is. I don't even understand what's the point of investigating him at work still. He's at work. I didn't get it. And we also learned the tragic past between Kazuki, I think that's her name, and Isla. Isla was a very different person than she was back then. Like, you can kind of see glimpses of the shit now, you know what I'm saying, her personality now, like little glimpses of it, but she was a completely different person, you know what I'm saying, she was a very, very different person. So, yeah, Kazuki went out to do that mission with the Wanderer and her leg. I saw the Gifty smash it, but did he smash it in a way where it was just completely unrepairable, which is the weirdest shit ever, because if you guys know who Kevin Ware is, then you would know that you can probably recover from like most bone fracture things, but I don't know what happened. So they had to amputate her leg because it couldn't be saved. I don't know what the fuck happened there, but she had to get her leg amputated. So yeah, and we saw how Isla was in the past, and I think that event kind of, because something was happening with Isla. She seemed like she was either sick or she couldn't move, because she told the doctor, like, hey, look after her while I'm gone. You know, the mechanic guy, look after her while I'm gone. And Isla was kind of sweating, like she might have passed out or something, so I don't know exactly what that was all about, but Isla, it seemed like Isla is blaming herself for Kazuki being, you know, all fucked up, and then Kazuki was kind of like, hey, I'm not going to be a partner anymore, and she left. And Isla hadn't had a partner all up until that time, up until Tsukasa showed up. And then in the end, Tsukasa is told about Isla's remaining lifespan, which is 1,000 hours, which is like a little over a month. And Kazuki says you can either be her partner up until time's run out, or you can terminate your partnership with her right now and wait for a new gifted to be sent here. He's just like, no, I'm going to be with her until the end. And that made Isla smile. Now, I don't know if she smiled out of happiness or out of sadness, because that's what this episode was about. The whole thing of conflicting, you know what I'm saying, emotions, you know what I'm saying, versus facial emotions. So I don't know. Because she smiled. She actually stopped and waited for his response because she was outside listening, and she smiled. So I was like, is she genuinely happy, or was she smiling out of sadness? Like, oh man, like he's going to have to, you know, remember that I died, or remember that I was terminated or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. Then he goes home, she's there, and she's like, welcome home. He says, welcome home, Isla, and all this sort of stuff, and they're talking, and she smiles at him again, and she kind of, you can tell that her emotions for him are like growing, because she actually is holding the little thing that he bought for her when they went to the fair. You know what I'm saying? And I think she was about to tell him about the stuff. She was about to say something about her remaining time, but when he said welcome home, she chose to just not say anything, and she smiled in front of him, and the episode ends. So it's kind of setting up for this to be a tragedy. But let me say this, I don't think it's gonna be. It could still be a tragedy. It still could end with her dying, and with Tsukasa having to live with those memories and all that sort of stuff. And he's like, nah, these aren't plastic memories, because plastic is not durable. It wears and tears after a while. But these are strong, solid memories. I remember her and all this sort of shit. But I don't think it is, though, man, because her character is a lot different from all the other giftiers that I've seen. Like, Marcia, her character from the time, from those pictures we saw when they were younger to now or whatever, like right before her time ran out or whatever, her character didn't change. She was still the same person for the most part. And even that little girl Nina was still the same person, you know what I'm saying, up until the actual termination. She was still the same person. But Isla's character has changed. She went from this bubbly sort of pouting sort of girl to just quiet monotone. Like, even the people working there, like, yeah, this is a lot different than the way that she used to be. She's a different person now. She's a completely different person. The shit that she's feeling is completely different from what I can gather from what all the other giftiers feel. It's just completely different. She seems on a whole nother level. She seems like she gets sick and all that sort of shit. I haven't seen that with other giftiers. I haven't seen them get sick, but she seems like she does, so she might be different. I don't know what the fuck is up with her, but she might be different. So she might not die in the end, and it's gonna be all happy-go-lucky for everyone, and that might be cool. You know what I'm saying? But let me know what you guys think about this shit, though, man. Back to some Pete.